So, how's the semester? Say hi. Hi. My name is Sai. Hi, Sai. Today is our Easter party. So, let's welcome our I forgot my agenda. Today's first session, we are grouping into two groups. So, people right over here, may I count how many people here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so people over here, you're in group 1. And the people over here, you're in group 2. So, now, people, so who are you? Group 1. Alright, and you are group 2. Alright, so you're group 1 and group 2, and then your goal is to see as many balloons as possible. And show the balloon. Don't play with it. Balloons are right over there, and those are our Easter eggs. Alright? So your goal is to see as many Easter eggs as possible. And then we will have some games and also table topic session today. So make sure that you seize every chance to stand on the stage or even answer questions so that you can get an Easter egg. Alright? Okay. So now this is our first session, Easter trivia. Make sure that you know everything about Easter. So let's welcome Esther to host our Easter trivia. Hello, I'm Esther, not Easter, okay? Hi, okay, I'm the host of this program, Easter Trivia Question. So if you know the answer, please raise your hand and you will get points, okay? We only have 10 questions, so you have to seize these opportunities, okay? Get your point. Alright? Let's begin. Raise your hand. Okay. So first question. Easter eggs are the symbols of what? First, peace and love, the new life, or the perseverance. I say 1, 2, 3. No. Sorry. 1, 2, 3.
So me, yeah. Be a new life.
Be a new life. Yes, a new life. Yeah. So first Easter eggs were dyed what color?
Magenta.
A. Red. B. Yellow. C. No color. No color. 1, 2, 3. Martin. Orange is first.
I don't know, but B, I think.
B. Yellow.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, here.
No color.
No color? No! Actually, the option C is the trap I designed for you. Okay, come to the next question. Yeah, it's a red egg. Okay, Easter Island, you know, falls in which country? Easter Island. A. Israel. B. America. C. Poland. D. Chile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Scott always raise her hand. Okay. I'll count it again.
everybody knows that.
Judas identified Jesus to the soldiers by doing what act? What? Judas identified Jesus. Okay, that's A, by reading the Bible. Or B, by shaking hands. Oh, shake hands. C, by shouting at him. D, by giving him a kiss. 1, 2, 3.
Wait.
Is B by shaking hands.
B, by shaking hands.
Oh, you get coronavirus.
Do you want to hesitate? Do you want to choose another choice? B? You okay?
B.
Okay, that's the answer. Yeah. Okay.
I know it before she can make the choices.
Okay, the fifth question. From which country the concept of the Easter Bunny originated? Easter Bunny. Okay. Who answered number 4? B. No one. No one. No one got right. No one got right. British. B. Switzerland. C. Ukraine.
Ukraine,
C.
right?
Germany. Germany. No, Ukraine is beside Russia. Or D, Germany, or A, B. Okay, 3, 2, 1, 2.
God, can you count to 3, mate?
2, 3, 1. What? Okay.
I'll say Ukraine. The C,
Ukraine.
yeah.
Ukraine. Anyone hesitate?
No.
Another choice?
No.
Really?
Yeah, C.
No.
Again.
1, 2, 3. I didn't see clearly. Again. 3, 2, 1. People over here, do something. Okay.
I guess Germany.
Germany.
You I just told you the answer.
Yeah, Germany. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Congratulations. Okay, the last 5 questions. Okay, keep going. What flower is considered an Easter symbol? Flower. A, sunflower. B, lily. C, rose. D, carnation. This is a picture. Okay. Mother's Day. 1, 2, 3.
Lily.
Is that Germany's back?
Lily.
Lily? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes.
Really?
My choice. Yes.
Is Lily your ex?
Bad question. Nah, Nini is his nan. Yes. Lily.
Congratulations. Okay, next question. Where is the largest Easter egg museum in Rome? Easter egg museum, the largest one. The largest. Okay. A. Germany. B. America. C. Poland. D. Taiwan. Taiwan. Okay. Let's guess. 1, 2, 3. Formosa. Sebastian, right? That's it. Sebastian. Okay, Taiwan, right? Taiwan. Taiwan. Poland. Are you sure?
Sure,
Is it Taiwan?
No.
That's the place that the funny originated. Next question, the last three questions. In the movie Rise of the Guardians, the movie. Play the role of the Easter Bunny. Let's see the actor. A. Hugh Jackman. B. Jude Law. C. Brad Pitt. Who are these guys?
I guess we can see
No. You have 50% chance to get right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Somehow, right?
I go and see.
See? Brad Pitt? See? He always gets C. Wrong answer. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3. What's your name?
My name is Daisy.
Daisy? Okay, Daisy, what's your answer?
Actually I know. B is the
B, Jude Law. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No! Everybody knows the answer. The right. Hugh Jackson. Yeah, also right. Like the ball, the bunny. Okay. So Sharon. Sharon is here. Hello, answers. So last two questions. Instead of Easter bunnies, Easter kid dresses what? A. Easter cookies. B. Easter eggs. C. Easter wizard. D. Easter ham. Are you ready? Suggestion for you to change your answer. What's your answer? Wait. No, not eggs. They've already posted on an egg on their hands, so we don't want to pretend to be egg. Okay, A, C, D. Which one is correct? 1, 2, 3. Hey, the girl in the middle. See? Easter wizard. Do you want to change your answer?
No.
Really?
I don't know that.
Not yes. Or
No.
yes. Okay, let's check the answer. Yeah. Congratulations. Okay, the last question, the most difficult one. Okay, the most difficult one. Yeah. Turning the eggs is a tradition that began in which country? Okay. Ukraine. Switzerland. Taiwan. Chile. Choose Taiwan again. Okay. Formosa. 1, 2, 3. Ukraine. Everyone is slow. Chile again. 1, 2, 10. 3, 2. Just say 1. 1. Why? Why everybody move so slowly? Why? Okay. I want to count again. 3, 2, 1. You are getting tired. Okay. Pressing red clothes. Okay. What's your name? Yes.
Okay, we have to.
I forgot the answer. So, you want to change that? Change your answer. Please go back. Let's see. No. You got the answer, right? You got the answer. Yes. Too many countries. Yeah. Okay. That is all of our trivia question time. So, do you get points? Do you get points? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, and happy Easter. Happy tonight. Okay. For those Easter trivia questions. I think those are interesting. Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Sorry. Anyway, those are really tricky questions, but we still got some trivia. We still got some quiz that is evil quiz. So pay attention to the following session that is Easter Introduction by Professor Scott. And then she'll give a
quiz.
pay attention.
All right, I'm just going to talk. Can you hear me in the back?
Yeah.
So, and you're going to be my changer, right? So when I say change, you'll change. All right, so we're talking about Easter, and they asked me to give you some information about Easter. So if I'd gone first, you would have done better on the trivia quiz, because some of the same information, but some new stuff too that maybe you don't know. So let's go to the first slide, please. All right, so you all know about Easter eggs, Easter bunny, but what you need to understand about Easter, go to the next slide, please, is that it's really a religious holiday for Christians. So it comes from the fact that Jesus died on Friday and rose again on Sunday, and it's actually, most people think that Christmas is the most important Christian holiday because it's one everybody celebrates and you get presents and you have a lot of fun. This is actually the most important Christian holiday because there wouldn't be Christians without this happening. So it's the most important religious holiday. Can you go to the next slide, please? The resurrection of Jesus. So many pictures, many people thinking about this, and even some movies being made about this event. So it's a very important holiday. Let's see the next slide. In fact, some people still, when they celebrate, Jesus rose from the dead. Well, we don't know exactly what time, but they found out that he rose from the dead very early in the morning. So we imagine that he rose from the dead at sunrise. And so many people still, for their religious observation, they will gather someplace outside so they can watch the sunrise, and then they sing and they say some prayers and they read from the Bible and they think about the importance of their religion. So it's not as popular of a holiday, right? Because not everyone is Christian. Everybody likes to get presents though, so that's why everybody likes Christmas. Everybody likes presents. But at Easter, it's not the same focus on presents. It's more about praying. So people don't care about that so much. But it is the most important holiday for Christians. Let's see the next slide, please. And so we already had this in our trivia question. So we know that the Easter lily is the important flower for Easter, but the reason why the tradition why the Easter lily is the flower is that because you can't really tell from this picture very well, but the lily, its head bends down. And so the flower of the lily bends down because it's honoring Jesus. Right? So that's why Christians choose this flower as a sign. And the truth is that sometimes you might see in movies or in old TV shows, something like that, people who are dead, Christian people who are dead, they're sometimes holding the lily. And that's why it's because it's associated with the resurrection of Jesus. So if you're a good Christian, you believe that he will rise from the dead at the end of time. And so the lily is a symbol of that. Okay, next one. So when is Easter? This is a tricky one, and it might come up on the Eagle quiz, so pay attention. So when is Easter? Because it's a different day every year. It's like Chinese New Year, it's a different day every year, right? Because it depends on the moon. So Easter is the first Sunday after, the first Thursday after, the first full moon after the spring equinox. And so the spring equinox is, when the days are equal. 12 hours of light, 12 hours of dark. So we just had the spring equinox. It's usually on March 20th, March 21st, right? I know you have a Chinese word for it. I don't know what it is. It's what? Yeah, so we just had it. We just had it. It was just, right, today is what, March 28th, so it was 1 week ago, right? Well, no, it was on it depends. In the U.S. it was on the 21st. Here in Taiwan it was on the 20th because of the time difference. So the spring equinox was just, 1 week ago, and the first full moon after that is today. So the first full moon is happening, and so then Thursday is this coming Thursday, which is April 1st, April Fool's Day, but it's April 1st, 1 month till my birthday too, just in case you were wondering about that. It's the first Thursday, and so the celebration of Easter for especially Catholic Christians, but most Christians, starts on the Thursday, because Thursday Jesus has his Last Supper with his friends, and then that night he's arrested, and on Friday he's put on trial, and he's killed on Friday, and then Saturday, he's dead, so nothing happens on Saturday, and then on Sunday he rises again from the dead. So it has to be the Sunday after the Thursday, after the first full moon, after the spring equinox. So that's why it's next Sunday, right? But it can be, there's a whole month where it could appear, right? Depending on when the full moon is. Okay, let's do the next one. So where does the word Easter come from? So it's believed by some that Easter was named after the Anglo-Saxon goddess Astra, whose symbols were the egg and the hare, the rabbit. Astra was a goddess of springtime. And the Anglo-Saxons, if you study British literature, you would know who the Anglo-Saxons are. But since you don't, British literature is the best. Yeah. But the Anglo-Saxons came from the northern part of Europe, from Denmark and northern Germany and Sweden and places like that, and they invaded England. That's why England is called England. It's named after them, the Anglo-Saxons. So it's not a Christian religion. So in English, the word is called Easter, and it's unusual. It's the only language in Europe that uses the word Easter or Easter. The other languages use a word that's related to the Jewish festival of Passover. So that it's called Pasch, for example, in French. So, but in English, it's Easter because of this Anglo-Saxon goddess who wasn't Christian at all, but she's the goddess of spring, and Easter happens in the spring, so they just use that word. And then you can tell them where did the Easter bunny come from? Where do Easter eggs come from? They come from that goddess. Okay? Next one. So let me tell you about some Easter traditions. This is just the Easter Bunny. You know about him. And do you know what the Easter Bunny does? Okay, yeah, he hides the eggs, right? So you have to find the eggs, right? And you don't find the eggs, and then like, you know, a month later you find them because you can smell them. So let's go to the next slide, please. So the Easter basket is, sometimes it can be filled with real eggs, and sometimes it's filled with, you can see, chocolate eggs and other kind of candy. In my family, we have a tradition, because I live in the north part of the United States, and so at this time of year, there's usually still snow on the ground. So it's hard to go outside and look for Easter eggs because there's snow, right? So we never had that outside yet. We never looked for the Easter eggs outside. My parents would hide our Easter baskets. The night before Easter, we would take our empty basket out and we put it down on the table, and then in the morning it would be gone and be hidden somewhere in the house. So the Easter Bunny came, hid our baskets, and then we would have to try to find them. So we'd have to look all over the house. My parents were very sneaky, so it could take a long time to find your basket. One time my brother was crying because he couldn't find it. So it's such a sneaky place, you never thought to look there. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. So the Easter egg hunt is a popular activity for people who don't live in the northern part of the United States. As I said, we couldn't have an Easter egg hunt outside because it's too cold and it would snow. I never understood. I would see pictures of children hunting for eggs like this boy here, and I would think, how can they do that? There's no grass, there's no flowers, there's just snow and ice. It's cold. Why would you go outside to do that? So when I was young, I didn't understand Easter egg hunts. But if you live like in Taiwan, you can easily have Easter egg hunts. So sometimes maybe just in the family they will do that. Like the parents will hide some eggs or candy outside in the by their house, but outside, and then the children have to look for it. But sometimes like a church or a town will organize Easter egg hunt for all the children, right, of their church or of their town. So it's a big Easter egg hunt with lots and lots of eggs hidden and lots of children running around trying to find eggs and crying. All right, this boy is lucky. He's got a lot of little baby eggs there. So let's try the next one. This is another famous tradition in the United States. It only happens really in the United States at the White House where the president lives. So the tradition, since the beginning of the 20th century, the tradition is that the president sponsors they call it the Easter egg roll. And so some children are invited. Sometimes they're the children of people who work at the White House. And sometimes they might be, you know, family members of politicians, things like that. It's hard to get a ticket to be at the Easter egg roll. It's very exciting, and lots of photographers and cameramen taking pictures. But you can see with this child, there's an egg. It's a hard-boiled egg that's been colored, and she has a wooden spoon, and there's a long racetrack. So you start at one end, and you have to roll the egg with your spoon to the other end. So it's not as easy as it sounds, apparently. I've never done it, but and you can see they didn't cut the grass, so it's really hard to do it. But so that's a very popular tradition at the White House that people pay attention to. All right, let's have another one. So another popular tradition, mostly in the United States, although I think it happens in some other countries as well, is the Easter parade. The Easter parade, people get dressed up because it's Sunday, right? Easter's always Sunday. People get dressed up in their nice Sunday clothes, and the women put on fancy hats. Right? They buy a new hat for Easter because it's spring. And this started back in the days when women always wore hats. Well, and men always wore hats too, but women always wore, they had to have new hats all the time. You couldn't wear the same hat, it wouldn't be fashionable. So they put on their brand new hat, and then they walk out on the street with their friends and their family and look at everybody else's hats and I love them. So now people, you can see there are some crazy hats. So now the Easter parades, because hats aren't so fashionable now, so it's not about fashion anymore, it's about who can have the craziest hat. But there was a famous movie from the 1940s or 50s called Easter Parade, and there's a famous song about wearing your Easter bonnet, your Easter hat, and going out to walk in the Easter Parade from that. So that's again, it's not everywhere. This is really an American kind of tradition. All right, I don't know what's next. Let's see. Oh, decorating Easter eggs. So we talked a little bit, right, that the first ones were red. You can see these are very fancy eggs, and the people of Ukraine and Russia and the eastern part of Europe especially are very famous for decorating their eggs in this really fancy way. With lots of designs and many different colors. In the United States, a lot of people aren't so artistic, but we want colored eggs because colored eggs, you can see them in the snow better. Right? If you're hunting for eggs in the snow, you don't want to hunt for white eggs, right? Because you'll never find them. But there's some dye that you can buy or that you can make, and they color a single color.
So why do you decorate Easter eggs?
Well, they decorate them here. The Ukrainian people decorate them. You can see they have a lot of religious symbols and things like that. So in part it's just to honor Jesus, and a lot of the really fancy ones, they put a little hole in the egg, so they don't cook it. They put a little hole in the egg. They blow the inside of the egg out, and it's just the shell. So it's for the artistry of it. But in my family, we would dye our eggs the night before Easter, and we tried to get a lot of dye on them because in the morning when we ate our Easter eggs, we would have, we call them the egg wars. So you take your egg in your hand, and your brother or your sister takes their egg in their hand, and you hit them together and see which one breaks. Right? So if you have a really strong egg, then you break the other eggs. But if your egg is weak, then your egg gets broken and everybody laughs at you. So we dyed them to try to make the shell stronger. It didn't really help, the eggs still broke anyway. And I don't like, in hard-boiled eggs, I don't like the hard yolk, the yellow part. I don't like it. But my brother doesn't like the egg whites. So we were always cooperating together. So I would eat the white off of the eggs, and then he would eat the hard yellow inside.
I love both.
You like both? I know most people do, but you know, we're a crazy family, so you wouldn't fit in. All right. Was I going to say something else about decorating? Maybe later. Let's see what's next. All right. So Easter candy. When people think about Easter, if you're not Christian, the thing you really think about a lot if you're 10 is Easter candy, right? You want an Easter basket full of Easter candy. And so one of the popular kinds of Easter candy is the chocolate bunny. Oh, you went too fast. Talk about chocolate bunny. Chocolate bunny, because everybody likes chocolate, and you can get them in all sizes. You can get little tiny ones. I've seen some that are like this big, or even like big. So if you eat your chocolate bunny all at once, you get sick. So if you're lucky though, you get a chocolate bunny in your Easter basket. All right, now you go to the next one. Another popular candy is jelly bean.
Jelly beans.
Yeah, everybody likes jelly beans, right? So, and they're very colorful, and it kind of looks like eggs, kind of. They taste a lot better than eggs, so, if you like sugar, which I do, so that's good. All right, so jelly beans is popular. What else do I got on the next slide? Oh, the Peeps. So the Peeps, they're an American kind of candy, and you see they look like little chickens, but they also have some that look like little bunnies, and they're very colorful, yellow and purple and blue and green, and they're made out of marshmallow, so they're very soft and very, very sweet. And They are very kind. The only time you ever see them is at Easter. Like they're a candy that only comes out at Easter. Jelly beans you can buy all year, for example. But the Peeps only come out at Easter. And let's see what the next one is, I think. So recently, many places have a Peeps diorama contest. So a diorama is like you take a box and then you like put a scene in it, you create a scene of something. So maybe you did that like in elementary school, the teacher said, you know, create a diorama about Taiwan history or something, and then you had to like make some, you know, people or events and put it in make a picture of it. So the newspaper in my hometown is one of the organizations that sponsors a diorama contest. So people make a diorama, they take a box and then they use the Peeps to be the characters in their scene. So this scene is the Peeps doing yoga. So on their little yoga mats, and then there's a mirror so they can watch themselves, and then there's a Peep yoga instructor here. It's a little fuzzy so you can't see it very well. When you see that the Peeps are doing yoga, it has nothing to do with Easter. They have all kinds of crazy dioramas, like they'll do historical dioramas, like the signing of the Declaration of the Independence, and they'll be all Peeps doing the thing. They do all kinds of just crazy things. They'll have like Elvis, Peeps, and people just make them up, and then the more creative you are, you win a prize. So that's a popular activity right now. All the groups are organizing their contest entries for that. All right, let's see what's next. What's first? I think it's quiz time. Yeah, it's quiz time. All right, so this is not a multiple choice quiz. This is I have no idea what the answer is. I'm going to make something up quiz. Now, some of them you will know because Esther already told you some of the answers. And actually, I told you some of the answers as well. But some of them, you're just not going to know. You're going to be like, what? Who knows? That's crazy. No cheating, no Googling. No Googling. And what I would like you to do is, there's Team 1 and Team 2. Right? So rather than individuals getting a prize, it's going to be a team. So you see the question, and then in your group you're going to have, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes to decide what the answer is. And whichever group comes closest will win the balloon, egg balloon, whatever it is. All right, so this is the first question. How many chocolate Easter bunnies are manufactured each year? Don't click anything. So, all right. Talk to your group, come up with a crazy number. Just know it's going to be 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Everybody discuss. 30 seconds. All right, 30 seconds. I'm nice.
Discuss about it.
What letter do you think it is?
Yeah.
Amount or wait. Amount.
All right, time's up. Group 1. What is your answer? You better not be moving. What is your answer? Group 1. Group 1, what is your answer? What is your answer? 2 billion. Is there, so, what is your answer? 800 million. I don't know the answer. Click that. Click the button. 9 billion. Oh, I think this is right. Your number was closest? All right, 9 million chocolate bunnies. All right, let's see what the next question is. Again, another crazy number that nobody knows. How many jelly beans do Americans eat at Easter? All right, 30 seconds. Who has to go first this time?
Million. So,
That's
that's the first half of it. Yeah, I don't think it was a pancake. I think it was like one.
Less is more.
40 million? 40 million. They guess 40 million, what do you guess?
10 times the American population.
I think I am math major.
3 billion. No, not 3 billion. The United States has 300 million. 300 million. Times 10 million.
3 billion?
3 billion.
Right, 3 billion, what was your number? You said 40 million? 40 million. Right, okay, all right. So you were like 3 billion and now billions, and you're in the millions, so influence again. Go around the earth doing time. Jelly beans. All right, I don't remember what the questions are. What's the next question? Oh, okay. So remember I told you about the Easter parade. Where do you think the most famous Easter parade is held? So, you can't play. You already did the trivia. You know all the answers. We looked at the same trivia on their websites. All right. Where is the place, the most famous Easter parade? Is it in Taiwan? Yeah, no, it has to be more specific than a country. It needs to be more specific.
The first one.
No, you can't have just one. Cheating. All right, time's up. What's your answer? Yeah, it's all guessing. They went first last time, so you're going to go first.
And it's shown on the presentation.
It's
It's shown on the presentation. It's shown on the presentation.
A city. Just guess. Name a city.
Meu name is South United States. Because it's one of the
Come on, your time's up. Just say it. Just guess the city. Guess the city. All right, guess New York. What do you guys guess? They guess New York too. And the answer is New York. Both win. Yeah. Okay, yeah, what's the next one? All right, this is a little tricky because I didn't talk about it. So you'll just have to guess again. Okay, so the United States. It's the traditional. No, we don't eat bunnies. Bunnies are cute. Although they are delicious. In the United States, what is the traditional Easter meat that people eat? Traditional Easter meat. And now, who's going to answer first? Not bunnies. So, yeah. All right, 30 seconds. All right. All right, your two guesses chicken. What do you guys guess? What do you guess?
Ham. Okay. Ham.
Ham. All right, what's the answer? what colors are associated? Red and green is for Christmas, and orange and black is for Halloween. What are the colors for Easter? All right, 30 seconds.
Colors. Go colors.
How many colors? How many colors?
Yellow and purple is their guess. What's your guess?
Come on.
Yeah, maybe because she say that.
Usually, right is.
Red and green is Christmas. Orange and black is Halloween.
Oh my god. I think it's yellow.
Yellow and white. And here's what.
Yellow, purple.
Yellow and purple. The answer is purple. If you notice that the picture every household spends about $135,000. So this group again had that they were the closest. And they're all wrong, but they're the closest. Two wins. Two wins, because they went to the high number this time. $14.7 billion. Okay, what's the next one? All right, this is another one. It's a two-part one, and you just have to completely guess. You have no idea who the famous artists are, right? Okay, so 30 seconds. Come up with a number in US dollars, and famous artist. All right, you guys ready to guess? You guys go first this time. $1 billion?
It's the same
Do
number.
you have an artist's name? You don't know who it is? It is Russian. Kind of Russian. No, well, you won't be Russian. All right, so anyway, we'll come back to the artist. Because that was such a good one. What was your number again? 1 million. Okay. All right. They guess 1 billion. They guess 1 billion. 1 billion. That's what they guess. 400 million. All right, let's see what the answer is. 9.5 million US dollars being made by AFJ were the closest. All right, we'll go to the next slide. So this is the egg. This is the $9.5 million egg. It's made out of crystal and diamonds. And these guys were talking about a Russian guy. He was actually French. His name is Fabergé. And he's famous at the beginning of the 20th century. He worked in Russia for the Tsar. This is before the communists took over Russia. And he made eggs out of precious things like jewels and gold and diamonds and things like that. So his eggs are very, very valuable. I am wearing my Fabergé Easter egg. Yes, you know, every time I get a somebody gives me a present in a box, it doesn't matter what size it is, big box or little box, I always shake it and say, I think this is a Fabergé Easter egg. So finally one day, my parents gave me a present that was in a big box, and I shook and I said, I think it's a Fabergé Easter egg, and then it was. So they finally gave me my Fabergé Easter egg, although I don't think it's really by Fabergé, but they're very valuable, so people collect them in museums, especially museums in Russia, because he made them for the Tsar. All right, let's go to another question. Oh, okay. What part of the chocolate Easter bunny do people eat first? What part do they eat first?
Yeah, my instinct.
You all think of first. I think it's your turn to go first. What do you want to answer? Years. You guess years? What do you guys guess? Years. Years. What is the answer? Years. Because obviously you eat the ears. I mean, you just look at those bunnies and you know you want to let their ears off. All right. Is there another one?
I can realize, right?
Oh, all right. Good. Alright, everybody gets a prize. Alright, and is there another one? Well, okay, so now, I told you this at the beginning, so when does Easter occur? Who was paying attention? You already know the answer? Okay, alright, you guys are here to go first. I'm going to hand the microphone over to Pep and answer.
Why first Thursday, after the first Thursday, after the first full moon, after the every
Okay.
First full moon, the first spring animal.
Say it again.
Do you need some help? Yeah.
Yeah, you say it.
And the first Sundays after the first Thursday and after the full moon and
Okay, alright. Alright. Sunday after the first Thursday after the full moon after the spring equinox. Alright. Is that the end? It might be the end. It is the end. Alright. Oh, wait. I brought you some jelly beans.
Say thank you.
Everybody can have some, but I hope there'll be some left over. Because it's not Easter yet.
That's good.
All right. So I'm just going to open it and then pass them around. Second most popular chocolate. Second most
No, small. That's yours. That's yours. That's yours. Let's compare. That's yours.
All right, everybody. How many eggs do you have?
How many eggs do we have? Count it. Let's count it.
We got even. And someone has.
We have one bag.
We have some surprise at your back. If you wear some Easter egg at your back. So you want to be surprised. 11. And how many eggs do you have? 12. 12.
Wait, guys. One more. 3 more.
No, I gave it. They gave it to me and I went there and go back.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes,
5,
yes.
6, 7, 8,
Just accept the
9.
defeat, losers.没关系，我给送你一个，你都说输了。
Don't be so mean.
Take the defeat, losers.
Stop entering. Do not fight.
Give him a like a courtesy.
The next session will welcome Eric Jia. Eric Jia for our table topic session. And during the table topic session, you can feel free to go have some snacks at the back, also some jelly beans. And then Oreo here. Wow, Oreo. Let's welcome Eric. Yes. Now it's table topic session, and let's go to Eric Jia. Welcome.
I'm the table topic master, and today's topic, well, sure, is about Easter. And so let's move on to our first topic. So we know all about Easter. It's about to memorize Easter is memorize about Jesus came back to life right after his death. So my first question is, if you can bring a dead person back to life, who will you choose? A famous actor, a great scientist, or your beloved family, and why? Okay, for me, I want the Tom Zhang, Zhang Yusheng, come back to life. Because he died so young, at a young age, and I want him come back to life, and he will definitely become a great singer. So maybe now, let's stand up and have discussions with others. That's more a group of people who go to fight. Yeah. Okay. And let's one here. Okay.
You can get it.
Okay, let's go. Justino. Let's go to Justino.
Yeah.
Good try. Thank you.
Who wants to be the next one here? Okay? You want to be the next one? Okay, let's welcome Wayne.
Okay, if I can bring a dead person back to life, and I will choose Iron Man in Marvel.
Iron Man.
In Avenger 4, at first he has a peace life with his wife and his daughter. But instead, he tries to save the world and designs time machine to help Avenger beat the Thanos. But very sad that he just hit his finger and sacrificed himself, and I feel so sad. That's why. So I want to choose Iron Man back to life, and that's my answer.
Thank you.
That person, I will choose Kobe Bryant. Actually, I'm his fan, and I very appreciate what his action and his attitude when he was playing basketball, and he just fight, and he just showed himself. He just showed his ability, ability in basketball, and suddenly he just died in the aircraft. So what a tragedy, like a tragedy, but encouraged person he Kobe Bryant is. So that's my stop. Okay.
Thank you. Question. So, okay. So we all know that before Easter there is what we call Good Friday. It's a holiday in America that memorizes the death of Jesus. And before the death of Jesus, Jesus had a dinner, the last dinner, with his 12 friends, and called the last dinner or last supper. So I'm gonna ask you a question: that what will you choose to eat in the last dinner of your life if you know you are about to die? Also, with whom would you like to dine with and why? Okay, for example, for me, I will choose to eat the cheese baked rice. Because my mom do it. My mom did this cheese baked rice in my childhood, and when I eat the rice, I will be reminded of my childhood, and I want to die when I think of my childhood. So, please, everybody stand up and discuss with other new friends, okay?
So my last supper will be, I'll eat a lot of seafood. Yeah. It's because if you eat a lot of seafood at once, it will eventually kill you. Yeah, so I'll be dying as I enjoy the seafood. Yeah, with my father.
Why do you want your father to see you die?
Yeah, because he said that when he dies, he would like to throw his ashes into the sea for the seabirds.
So good story.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could know that I would die that night, the night before I'm going to die, then I think I would want to have a banquet and have a lot of tables stay out of the street. I would invite all the friends, family to the banquet, and also those banquets in Taiwan, it will be held on the street, and also there's a performance. There's a stage over there, and actually I imagine that if I could be the performer to entertain all my guests, all my families there, because for me that is more like the day before the funeral, and I wanted to be that happy, so I don't want to join the funeral to see my guy. I just want the last night to be as happy as possible. So I would say I would like to dine with all the people I know, all the people I love, and I would like to eat the food, the traditional Taiwanese food, and the thing I'm going to have is the appetizer, that's the Molly's fish eggs. That's one of my favorites. So thank you.
Be the bullet for you.
Hi everyone, I'm Stacy, and I think I will have Hong Kong because Hong Kong is kind of very large reunion in Chinese meaning, so yes. And family is the most important in my life, and I think friends or boyfriends and wife will work in one day, but family will. So yeah, I will have my husband member with my family.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know why my question is not about death. It's a little bit sad. Okay. So imagine that you die at an old age, and suddenly you come back to life. Yeah, you are alive again. What is the first thing you want to do after you are alive?
Brush your teeth.
What?
Get insurance.
Okay, and then for me, I will go to my son or my daughter's home to freak them out, give them a surprise. Okay. So let's discuss. Everybody please stand up and who wants to be the first one here? Okay, function. Yeah.
That's kind of my website.
Let's work on function.
Okay, so I am kind of sure about my future plan. Like, I don't want to get married or I don't want to give birth to children. But if I'm given another life, like I would like to try out getting married. Giving birth to babies. Like have the totally different experiences. Yeah, that's my answer.
Right, you are. Because I'm a sci-fi person and I have watched the Lao Gao's. Actually, he is talking about a movie called Arrival. So and the movie is about the aliens. But because now since we haven't attached any aliens now, so I think that maybe like a lot of years later we will find out aliens and attach them. So if I came back to life, I will probably ask the first question is, have we attached the aliens now? And have we find out the aliens? Because I think that because the universe are so big, and I hope that in my lifetime I can solve the aliens in person. So this is what will I do after I came back? Thank you.
So the first thing I would choose to do after coming back to life would be to go to Hollywood to sell the rights of my life for them to make a movie. It's really unusual that a person comes back to life. So I would get the chance to become famous or go tours, interviews, and live a really different second life from the one I already lived before. Okay?
Going up next, that is Easter egg hunt. So you guys have 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you have to come back, alright? And then in 5 minutes, you will go out. For 5 minutes, you will go out. And then you'll find those eggs that were used by our officers. Find as many as possible, alright? You have 5 minutes and let's go! Everybody get a pen. Pass it down. Alright, it's time for Easter egg hunt. Cutest one. Who is the cutest one? And then Professor Scott will pick one that is her favorite, alright? So you have to come back the balloon and make her favorite. So you have 5 minutes, alright? Go.
Okay, what type of extra in the competition? Just the big ones or some of the little ones?
Take out your.
Just the big one?
The big one's the big one.
Okay. Big one, so the Doraemon, and then, I have two. Yeah. I should say that blue is my favorite color.
Yes.
Wait, I'm not done yet. And, but I find the blue Doraemon is very clever. But of course, mine's the best one. Why would I choose anything else? So here is my judgment. Doraemon wins for most clever. Blue egg wins for being blue. And I win because mine's the best. So everybody wins! Yay! Oh, and actually I think here's the light bulb one.
Okay, you show yours.
Oh, it does have light bulb. Alright, and here's the grand prize winner for today. Minnesota has the largest lake in the world.
Whoa!
Don't let the Russians tell you their lake is bigger. They're lying. Our lake is the biggest. Theirs is deeper, but ours is bigger.
Whoa! The biggest is better. Yeah.
This might come back. Somebody. I like this one too. This one is the most innovative. Oh, yeah.
So both teams got 3 extra eggs. Okay. Both teams got 3 extra eggs. Already, right? Okay. Now it's time for the next session. Is Easter egg song. So what is Easter egg song? Not just sing a song. So now we will break those eggs that you made. With these elastic bands, tie those balloons to your feet, and then people just go around and stomp it. Alright? So I will break those. I will pass down those elastic bands, and then we'll tie it to your feet. Okay. Alright, and then who has the most eggs left wins. So you have to start on other team's eggs. Okay? Now you have 1 minute. Ready? Steady? Go! Now, same team!
Yeah. Don't stomp eggs from the same thing, okay?
Can't beat me, I'm too good.
One, two, three, four.
How about there?
Hey, how do you do
Nine.
How do you do that?
9. Come on here. Survival. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, what would he say?
7, 8, 9.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a treasure. Treasure bag, like Doraemon.
You didn't tie them on your feet. Okay, I'll do round 2. Tie over your eggs on your feet, alright? Round 2.
Such a massive cheater. Give us 3 eggs.
cheating.
Give us 3 eggs for cheating.
No, it's not me. Round 2. You guys do that. Okay, so 1 minute, alright? Ready? Okay, group 1 has 13 eggs. And how about you? 19 eggs! Almost. Then let's get 1 point. Okay, we need a representative of our group, right? So pick one. Other than that, have a prize. Right? We have a prize. Choose one of your member and then stand on the stage to have a prize.
Choose one of them.
Yes, this is the awarding time. So our president will get the award. I think it's not an award. It's going to like have punishment or something. It's called a punishment. So group 2 is the representative. Okay, fine. Punishment is fine. We are going to take a picture of that.